Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today is my Draw With Me, Paint With Me video. And I am doing Maps Drawloween, and the prompt for today is Mostly Ghostly. And I am using an Etcher A4 and the Daniel Smith Indigo, which has blue mixed or black mixed with it, so it is more light fast. For Mostly Ghostly, I am doing a ghost ball python. It is a type of snake that has a lot of white in it, hence the name. And I'm trying to incorporate as much or as many animals as I can into these sort of drawing art prompts because I just love animals so much. But yeah, we're just gonna have a little chat. Grab your sketchbook, draw with me. We're just doing about 10 minutes worth, and I'm just working on eyeballs over here of this little cutie. I know some folks aren't comfortable with snakes. That may be something you don't care for, in which case I'll talk to you tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful day. We had a snake growing up, and it's kind of an interesting story. So I was younger, and I don't remember, one of our neighbors, and I know neighbor is like a relative term, but they were like 2-3 blocks away, and they were moving, and they were having a moving garage sale, which if you're not from the United States, it doesn't mean you're selling your garage. It means kind of like you're selling the stuff that you store in your garage and never use. And they were getting rid of, what I saw was a vivarium, which is a reptile sort of aquarium. It doesn't hold water. It's just for reptiles. And there happened to be a reptile in it. There was a male bull snake, which where we lived, it was illegal to own them. But she had one anyway. And they were moving and they couldn't take it with them. And so we took it. And we had that snake as long as we could. Eventually, he was a really cool snake, very friendly, very cool looking. Eventually we ended up getting an iguana to put in that vivarium. And then, gosh, my brother had that iguana, for decades. My mom ended up building, my mom, if you don't know, is like one of the handiest, craftiest folks ever. And she made, because iguanas will grow to their space. So the bigger the sort of container or space you keep them in, the bigger they grow. And so she made this really cool thing that took up a huge expanse of space in my brother's room, and it had a lid on it that was made of like screen door material. It had a wood frame, and it was huge. So his iguana got really, really, really big because of the amount of space that she was allowed to grow in, which is really, really cool. Anyway, I had, as a child, hamsters, which, you know, if you're not into nocturnal animals, they're pretty noisy at night. Anyway, and we had cats and we had a dog. So, a little bit of a zoo, but lots and lots of fun, I think, growing up, which is cool. It's cool to have parents that are just like, you want to try having this pet? Let's try having that pet. Let's see what it takes to do that. I think snakes are beautiful. There's like a Star Wars snake. I should have looked it up before I started painting, but there's like a stormtrooper snake, I think, that has a lot of white in it that looks kind of like it could be a ghost snake. A really, really cool one, if you're into like snake patterns and stuff, is the rainbow snake. And it looks like iridescence, like, you know how insects sort of have that iridescent look to them where it's, you know, depending on the angle, they're greenish, bluish, purplish. They kind of look like that with like silver. They're really, really pretty. So, highly recommend if you're interested in looking up patterns or drawing snakes. Find some with really cool patterning. We're going to see how much I can get done here, but this is going to have to be in layers and build up, just because of time constraints and how long it takes me to paint. But anyway, the week is almost done. Tomorrow is the last day, and that is always really cool. I've said before, and I'll say it again, like, if you're interested in doing YouTube and having a channel and doing something like this, know that a lot of cameras and things brighten up what you're doing. So I am virtually painting in the dark. It can be a bit of a challenge, because if I turn my lights on, this whole thing will be incredibly washed out, and then you won't be able to see what I'm doing. But as it stands, I'm having trouble seeing what I'm doing, and well, I've just decided to embrace that level of adventure. But just know that if you're recording and you're starting a channel and you're doing videos and stuff, you're gonna want it darker than you think. Otherwise, it's gonna be washed out. So play around with it a little bit. Figure out what you're doing, what you're interested in. And then lighting. Lighting is a tricky one. A lot of my early videos are completely washed out, and they're kind of from an angle because I didn't have an overhead mount for my camera. And so I was just using a tripod and kind of angling my camera a certain way. But if you angle it a certain way, you got to make sure that your hand's not covering everything you're doing. It becomes a whole situation. So add some more here, I think. And then I don't edit my videos. I plan on starting that and trying to learn how to edit next year. So it's being able to talk kind of while you draw and create and keep track of where you're at with stuff. If you're using notes, it gets harder to create and draw. If you're good at multitasking, then my method might be okay. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Oh, snakes. Mostly ghostly. This is a fun prompt. Some of the prompts I didn't know what to do. Like yesterday's was Plumpkin, and like I said, I make notes so I don't spend the entire time trying to figure out what to draw. I have everything ready. But for Plumpkin, I wasn't sure, so what I did was I painted a hippo eating a pumpkin, because sometimes they give hippos pumpkins to snack on. And I thought that would be funny. Because, I don't know, hippos are cool. They're just a really cool animal. Anyway. Kind of blend that in a little bit. Give them that real snake look. I love how snakes look. I think they look so cool. Into it. Anyway. Kind of have of scaly shapes. That's what it is. It's going to be a lot of scaly shapes. So this is where I leave you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.